reason only, and that's to represent our ratepayers in the state of Arkansas. And besides that, the fact that I work for a utility that's structured that way, my faith would not allow me to represent a position that I felt like was detrimental to other human beings or our planet. With that being said, the normal process for looking at global warming, the very first, I in my mind, think of a flow chart that you come to, is man causing global warming or not? And that's usually where the arguments begin and the divisiveness begins, and there are two thoughts there. Some folks say, yes, man is causing global warming. That justifies spending significant money, and ultimately that's going to trickle down to the rates in Arkansas to address global warming, man-made global warming. There are others that say, no, man is not causing global warming, and all these extra expenses are not justified in this burden on our ratepayers and industries. To me and to us at City Water and Light, and I'm not necessarily representing the position of all the other folks that are going to speak to you today, but we feel like that there are actually, that we can accomplish both, and by that I mean we can address greenhouse gas emissions and do it economically. There are actually measures out there such as energy conservation, hybrid vehicles, nuclear energy. The nuclear power plant we have in Arkansas reduces emissions equivalent to 1 million cars, what I was told. So there are ways out there that are both economical and reliable that addresses greenhouse gases, whereby, again, we can do both. We can address greenhouse gas emissions and do it economically. One concern, and I'll close my opening remarks here and turn it over to the speakers that we have today. One concern that I have, a few years ago, several of you may remember, deregulation was the buzzword across this country. Great concept. Let's deregulate utilities, give folks competition to take advantage and ultimately get lower prices. And quite honestly, you all, deregulation was a failure. States that deregulated their utility businesses ended up with higher rates than the regulated states. And more frightening for those states that deregulated, the increase in rates are increasing much more rapidly in those states than they are in the regulated states. Deregulation was a failure, and we came that close in Arkansas to following what other states were doing. Several times over the course of our Global Warming Commission meetings, I heard people say, what are they doing in Florida, or what are they doing in North Carolina, what are they doing in California, these other states? And I think that's dangerous when we start just getting in line and following what other states are doing without looking at how it impacts Arkansas. So with that said, we'll move into our program, and I apologize if I seem somewhat unorganized, because I was told about 5 minutes after I got here that I was going to be the substitute MC. But those are my comments, Mr. Chair. I'll turn it back over to you.